The Denver Broncos are facing a pivotal offseason. With free agency quickly approaching, the team has some significant decisions to make. As they look at their in-house free agents and evaluate what they want to keep, it's clear that the Broncos are ready to make changes. Some of these decisions are already starting to unfold, and one key area where we might see major movement is in their special teams department. What's up, buddies? Welcome back. If you are new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We cover all AFC West news here on this channel. Earlier in the offseason, the Broncos parted ways with special teams coordinator Ben Kotwica. This move set the stage for finding a replacement, and initially it seemed like the Broncos had a couple of strong candidates to step in. Chris Banjo, the team's current assistant special teams coach, was seen as a frontrunner for the role. Another heavy favorite was Darren Reese, the former interim head coach and special teams coordinator for the New Orleans Saints. Reese had worked under head coach Sean Payton back in 2019 and was a name familiar to Broncos fans due to his longtime success. However, recent reports suggest that both Banjo and Reese might be on their way out. And unfortunately for the Broncos, it seems they could be losing their top two choices for the job. Banjo is reportedly being pursued by Aaron Glenn, the new head coach of the New York Jets, to become their special teams coordinator. Meanwhile, Reese is also drawing interest from the Chicago Bears, who have made a move to bring him in as their special teams coordinator. The loss of Banjo would be a significant blow to the Broncos, as he has played a major role in the special teams department for some time now. While some might wonder if the Broncos could block Banjo's move to the Jets, it's important to understand that they would have no reason to stop him from taking a promotion. Banjo would be going from assistant special teams coach to the lead coordinator role in New York, which is a clear step up in his career. Blocking that type of move would be bad business for the Broncos, as it would set a negative precedent for future hirings. Similarly, if Reese takes the job in Chicago, the Broncos will be left scrambling to find another qualified candidate to fill the role. If they lose both Banjo and Reese, the team will need to consider other options to fill the vacancy. There are some names to watch here, including Chris Tabor, the former special teams coordinator for the Carolina Panthers, who could be a strong candidate. Tabor has also served as the interim head coach of the Panthers after they fired Frank Reich, adding another layer of experience to his resume. Another option for the Broncos could be Joe DeCamillis, a familiar face in Denver. DeCamillis has served as the Broncos' special teams coordinator multiple times in the past, and it wouldn't be surprising to see the team give him a call to see if he's interested in returning to the NFL. While the Broncos are likely focused on Banjo and Reese as their top two choices, if neither of those coaches is available, DeCamillis could be a viable plan C. Other candidates to consider might include Darius Swinton II of the Raiders or Jet Modkins, who is currently the running back coach for the Lions. Regardless of who ultimately gets hired, it's clear that the Broncos will need to make some big changes to their special teams in 2025. The decision to move on from Ben Kotwica shows that the team is serious about improving in this area, and losing Banjo and Reese could force them to take a hard look at the available options to find the best fit for the job. But while the Broncos' special teams coaching situation is a major talking point, the team also has important decisions to make on the players' side. One area where we're likely to see significant changes is at the running back position. The Broncos' backfield will look very different next season, as it seems they're ready to move on from running back Javonte Williams. Despite leading the Broncos as a rusher with 513 yards this past season, Williams has not been the same player he was before suffering a devastating knee injury. He's struggled with consistency, and the team's decision to move on from him isn't a huge surprise. Although there were talks of the Broncos possibly bringing him back on a veteran minimum deal, Williams is looking to get paid more in free agency, and it seems unlikely that the Broncos will be heavily invested in bringing him back. With Williams likely on his way out, the Broncos will need to look elsewhere for their lead back. While Jaleel McLaughlin has shown promise as a backup, he's unlikely to be the top option moving forward. McLaughlin will likely return as a reserve back, but the Broncos will be in the market for a potential starter. The team has other options in-house, including Audric Estim, a fifth-round pick from Notre Dame, who was drafted with the hope that he could develop into a starting running back. However, Estime has not shown enough during his rookie season to justify a starting role. He has questions about his ability as a receiver, a blocker, and his ball security. These concerns have led to the Broncos giving more playing time to Williams, even when it was clear that Williams hadn't fully recovered from his injury. If Estime is going to have a chance at a larger role next season, he's going to need to show a major improvement in these areas. As for the rest of the backfield, Tyler Beatty and Blake Watson will likely battle for a spot on the practice squad. It's possible that one of them could earn a roster spot depending on how the team shapes the depth chart, but it seems more likely that they'll be competing for a practice squad role unless the Broncos bring in a more experienced player. With all of this uncertainty at the running back position, the Broncos will likely look to free agency to find a new starter. In fact, they were heavily involved in the running back market last offseason. offseason, having serious discussions with Josh Jacobs. Jacobs, however, chose to sign with the Las Vegas Raiders after deciding that they were a better fit for him in terms of competing for a championship. The Broncos are still expected to pursue a high-profile back this year, and names like Najee Harris and Aaron Jones are likely to be on their radar. Najee Harris, the Pittsburgh Steelers' star running back, could be a great fit for the Broncos. His powerful running style would align well with head coach Sean Payton's offensive system, and he could help provide a much-needed boost to the Broncos' ground game. Harris could fill the role that Mark Ingram once held in Payton's offense, though the Broncos would still need to figure out who will take on the Alvin Kamara role. Harris has put up 4 seasons of consistency, with each season being over 1,000 yards. Harris has totaled 4,316 yards and 28 touchdowns over 1,097 attempts, proving he can provide a steady presence for an offense. Not only that, but Harris has also been able to be reliable as a receiver as well, with 1,149 yards and 6 touchdowns. Harris is a downhill rusher that is physical. His style as a running back is why Harris is a perfect fit for the Denver Broncos. Aaron Jones is another name to watch. Although his age, he'll be over 30, might make him a less attractive option for the Broncos. Still, Jones brings a lot of talent to the table, and his experience could be a valuable asset to a team in need of a strong running back. Even ESPN's Benjamin Solak named him as an ideal fit for the Broncos, assuming he hits the open market. Solak wrote this Sunday, "Denver will start to elevate their offense at running back, where their rotation has been lacking a reliable grinder who can handle 15-plus touches per game. Aaron Jones, should he become available, is an ideal fit on a front-loaded 3-year deal. Jones is coming off a solid 2024 campaign with the Minnesota Vikings, in which the 30-year-old workhorse converted 255 carries into 1,138 rushing yards and 5 touchdowns, adding 51 catches for 408 yards and 2 receiving scores. He graded out as Pro Football Focus's number, 20 RB among 57 qualifiers. A 2017 fifth-round pick, Jones spent the first 7 years of his career with the Green Bay Packers, compiling more than 8,000 yards from scrimmage and 63 total touchdowns across 97 appearances, including 85 starts. Jones is arguably the top running back scheduled to hit unrestricted free agency, though Spotrac estimates his annual market value at a modest $5.6 million. However, even if the Broncos sign a big-name running back in free agency, they could still look to the draft for additional depth. If a player like Ashton Genie is available with the 20th overall pick, the Broncos could take a shot at him. Genie's talent and versatility could make him a great fit in Payton's offense. If Genie isn't available, there are other intriguing prospects, including Dylan Sampson, Caleb Johnson, and Trevayon Henderson. While Payton might not be inclined to take a running back in the first round, he could still target someone in the second or third rounds. The Broncos have also been successful in finding running back talent through undrafted free agents. Past successes like Terrell Davis and Phillip Lindsay are proof that Denver has an eye for spotting talent in unexpected places. This offseason, the Broncos could once again find a gem in the undrafted free agent market. So what do you think? What's your ideal scenario for the team's running back situation? And who do you want to see in the special teams department? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. As always, be sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss any updates. Your support helps the channel grow, and we really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Thanks.